All right. 2 o'clock. One more time, please. Just let me know that you guys can hear me. I think you should be able to see my screen here. It says SpaceGPS Satellite, just to make sure we're all good here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, yeah, it has been a while. I was away on a working vacation for 2 months, but I'm back. And well, I was never away from charts. I was always like I said, it was a working vacation. I still ran my Discord group and everything else, but yeah, anyway, I'm back and just in time. ninZa.co created a very special product. This is the first time that we have a product based on volume and market profile. So um what I want to do, here's what I want to do. I want to kind of quickly go over the slideshow and then hopefully be able to catch some live trades in the NASDAQ. So we still have a little while before the market closes. I just want to quickly go over this, try and catch a couple of live trades, talk about the software as we are looking at the charts, looking for a trade, and then just maybe circle back to the slideshow. But I just think it's much better if I can try and catch a trade. So first of all, if you've never seen me before, my name is James Buchman. I've been trading for going on almost 17 years now. I have my own Discord group where today we sold the S&P at 38 down to 16. We sold the YM from 431 for a couple of hundred points. Well, that's what was available. But yeah, so that's me, and I've been working with ninZa.co for what, like a year and a half now, about a year and a half, promoting their products. They have truly quality products. That's why I kind of chose them, because I much rather work with a very solid company, and ninZa.co is a very solid company. Okay, so in a nutshell, what this product identifies is a few things. First of all, it identifies a trend. Now, this trend is based on a moving average, but not only a moving average. It is also based on volume and market profile. So the trend is very stable, especially on a kind of a higher time frames. But it's not simply going to shift just because price, let's say, breaks the trend arrows, because it's not only a moving average. It is smoothed by volume. So that's important. After identifying a trend, it identifies zones. Within the zones, it identifies a pullback. And again, there is a volume study here. It looks for a pullback again based on volume. So it's very much so volume centered. The zones have two parts to them, and maybe there is a better illustration here. Just find a really good zone. I'm not sure if you can see this. I hope so. You see how the zone is basically kind of separated into two parts. So there is kind of like the basic area is here, and the more extreme is over here. So these make some of the, in the case of a short, these make some of the best short opportunities. In the case of a long, let's see, maybe there is a better one. Yeah, like here again, you can see how the zone it kind of split in two, and the better opportunities arrive as price goes into the more extreme area of the zone. And then, of course, you want some kind of a confirmation that indeed it's going to hold. So it is, again, volume, market profile plays a pretty big part in this software. And we're going to see on live charts, I don't want to get into that yet, how it identifies. I'm going to pick a really small time frame to try and catch a trade, because on the 1 minute chart it would just take too long. But I'm going to pick a 200 tick chart, and there you get just a lot of opportunities. So you're going to see how these zones are formed and how the software looks for just the right conditions to signal, to give an official signal. Now, I'll tell you, when I made a video for ninZa.co featuring this product, and before making a video, I really kind of watched it, and I discovered I can get into very good trades even without the quote official signal. And I'm going to show you what that looks like because it is just so accurate where it expects price to go. Again, because of volume, it kind of begins to identify where price should pull back to. In the case of a short, to then just short it and take it down. In the case of a long, a pull back again into the zone and then going up higher. So ninZa.co ran a back test, and these are the results that they came up with. Now, I think there was more explanation on their YouTube channel. But this is the results that on a 1 minute chart. One minute chart is pretty good, and the charts I'm going to show you from earlier today are also from a 1 minute chart. It's pretty good. This is the one system where I would say a time bar is more accurate than, let's say, King Renko bar. Now, if you watched my webinars, in pretty much all the other products, I prefer the King Renko bar. Now, I don't know. I didn't try. King Renko bar might do well here, but because this is based on volume analysis, I think either a time bar or a tick bar would do better. Because it analyzes the volume intro bar. So so they ran it on a 1 minute. These are the results. Obviously, this is back testing, so just keep that in mind. But these are the results that they came up with. Very, very solid. Watching it in real time, I concur that the signals are very accurate, and you can probably do better in the sense that you would not necessarily need such a large drawdown if you just kind of apply your own money management to this. But these are their results. So this is definitely a trend following system with a pullback. It is based on price action. Depends on the time frame you are using. I'll be using it for scalping on a 200 tick chart. If you use a larger time frame, a 1 minute, a 3 minute, a 5 minute, you can definitely use it for day trading, swing trading. That would all depend on a time frame. Now, I see there's some questions, and I will answer questions. Just let me maybe get through the presentation. Simply because once I lose track of what I'm saying, I'll just be going in circles, and I really want to get to the live charts. Okay, yeah. So again, we spoke about this. It identifies trend. It looks for a pullback. It identifies support and resistance with the zones that we're going to see. So here are examples. These examples are obviously resistance zones, and that's what I'm talking about. If you can see this, there is the basic zone, which is underneath, and the more extreme zone on top. The trend is over here, which could be used as a trailing stop, for example, and that's where I think, some money management, you get better results than ninZa.co got on their back test. But these are definitely the official sell pullback signals here. We will see these on the live charts. Okay, so we spoke about the support resistance zones, right? There is the basic and the extreme. They kind of demonstrate it here. That's what I was talking about. In the case of a short, resistance zone. The basic is the underneath, and the more extreme is on top. And the opposite is obviously for the buy. The basic one would be on top, and the more extreme would be underneath. Yeah, spoke about this. This is the volume study, and it goes bar by bar, and that's actually how they come up with the pullback. It analyzes the volume throughout the preceding bars and the current bar to decide where the official signal is going to be. Okay, we spoke about this. So this is the same thing, only with the buys I was talking about. This is the basic zone on top, and the more extreme is on the bottom. Again, here is your volume study. Same here. So you see how the trend does not change simply because price is breaking it. And then again, because of it's the way the algorithm, the way they came up with the algorithm for the trend, it's very stable, which really helps in longer runs. So just more examples of the same. Let me see now, because I don't want to waste too much time here. Let me see if I can show you something on the live chart from today. So this is the Russell. I think you can see this. Yep, you should be able to see this. Let me make this bigger. So this is the market open, and you see how that trend is already bearish. However, it's going to wait for a pullback. It begins to create a zone. That's what we were talking about. Maybe make it a bit bigger. Bit bigger here. Bring it down. So in case of a resistance, this is the basic resistance, and then there is the extreme. And the best opportunities arrive when price gets into this extreme area, because that's when you expect price to reverse, and that's exactly what happened. These signals do not repaint, by the way. They do not repaint. So here is the official short signal. And then price goes down. Here it is again, coming in the second time. Again, a zone is identified and price went down. Here is the third time. So you see how it just waits. It just waits for these pullbacks. And then based on volume, it decides if to generate another short signal. So this is the Russell from this morning. Here is one that probably was a break even, because then the trend changed immediately. So here is the short. You were in the money a bit, and then the trend changed. And then price went up. Now, here is something. I hope you can see this. Make this bigger. Do you see these triangles? There was like pinkish triangles and there are blue triangles. These are momentum bars. So again, this software identifies based on volume if there is buying coming in. Now, in an uptrend, I would ignore the short. I would go with the longs. That's one thing I've noticed also, even if there is no signal and there is no zone yet, but there is momentum buying coming in and the trend is already bullish. That's something to watch for, just as another way of getting into trades. So another thing I'll tell you, but that's a personal preference. I do not like to trade after 11:30, the latest Eastern time. So within like an hour and a half, 2 hours the most. For the most part, I'm done by 10:30. But I don't like to trade after 11 o'clock. And that's because most days, the pros, they made their money, they're gone, right? Who's left? Well, us. And so a lot of chop is coming in. And obviously, because especially this software, which is based on volume, the volume goes down substantially after 11 o'clock compared to, let's say, 9:30 to 10:30. And so I'm just less excited after 11. The best signals occur between like the session open, 9:30, and 10:30, maybe 11 at the latest. But obviously now it's after 2 o'clock. I will still attempt to find some trading opportunities. So there was a pullback log. This was just enough for a scalp, not much here. Um, then a trend change. Trend change again. Again, you see these momentum. These are not official signals. I'll tell you, these are not official signals, but they do help. I find they definitely help. Here is one on the short side, right? A trend change, bearish here, and here is the momentum bar down, right over here. So again, these are not official signals, but they do help find opportunities. So that's the Russell. Um, and let me show you the NASDAQ first on a 1 minute chart. Okay, so this is the NASDAQ on a 1 minute. 1 minute is pretty good if you have the time to really sit. Again, I'm not going to be doing 1 minute here now because there's not that much time. But here is the short. I mean, how perfect is that? Right. Once the trend is identified, here is a pullback, and then just, you know, based on volume, selling was coming in, the software caught it, and just a monster move down. Look at this in the NASDAQ. Here is a change of trend. Here is the momentum long over here after the trend. The pullback long, this one did not work out. Then we have a shift of trend to the downside. This pullback short definitely worked out. Again, change of trend. Here is the momentum long over here. Now, I'm pretty sure they print after bar closes, so I should be pointing here. This is where, if you wanted to, you would take a long over here. And this doesn't look like much, but it's more than 20 points. Then we have no. So that's what I mean. If you see this sideways behavior after a certain point, that's what I don't like, and that's why I prefer to really first hour and a half. That's it. But still, the short was pretty good, and we are now on a 1 minute chart. We are definitely bearish, and this was the latest signal over here. Another zone is forming. So the zone is forming, and I hope you can see this. There is like a flashing pink line, and that's where the price would need to pull back to uh, for uh, for an official short trade. Now, I did trade my funded account before, but I will switch to a sim. I hope you don't mind. I will switch to a sim because I don't trade at this time. After 2 p.m., I definitely do not trade, but let's see what we can catch. So this is a 200 tick chart, 200 tick chart. And so I just want to, again, this is a sim account, just to be sure. I just missed a short. So let's kind of wait a little bit. While we are waiting, again, here is this short, resistance zone. Here is the basic, and this would be the extreme. So some of the best situations occur when price comes into the extreme areas. Here, price was only at the basic resistance level before now coming down. So I am going to have to wait. Just kind of looking at anything else I want to show you while we wait. Well, not much to see here. This was the S&P, is the S&P, I should say. Again, the S&P formed a resistance zone. Here is that flashing line where the S&P would like to come back to before signaling a short. S&P I put on a 3-minute chart. Just because I think for the S&P, 3-minute is slightly better. Here is an example, by the way. In S&P, as price came into the more extreme area of support, of the zone, and then a nice move higher considering the time it is. This was a short. This looks like a long that would not work out, a change of trend over here. You had the momentum signals down in the S&P. And the S&P in general, at least for me, I find it difficult to use any indicator at all to trade the S&P. I trade the S&P in my Discord, but that's strictly no indicators at all, just proprietary stuff. I find the S&P to be tricky with indicators. Okay, so now we have the Nasdaq coming into this blinking area. So well, should have probably checked, make sure it failed first. Let me see if I can just maybe a bit bigger. Again, guys, I do not recommend you trade the 200 tick chart, nor trade at this time of day, but just to demonstrate, just for demonstration purposes here. Let's see if this fails and at least gives us some kind of scalp. It's really more important that you see kind of the logic behind this and then probably use it on a 1 minute chart or so.
Target filled.
Okay, so they filled us. So the idea here was, if you remember, this line was flashing when price was over here, right? And I said what the software wants is for the price to come up into this zone, into this flashing line, and then it should fail. Then came the pullback short over here. And again, I just keep on saying that. Keep in mind, this is a 200 tick chart. You should not be going for swing trading on a 200 tick chart. But this was just a demonstration how, because the same idea would work on a 1 minute, on a 5 minute, but this was just a quick short on this 200 tick. Let's see if we can kind of wait for another one. Let's see what else I can show you while waiting. Gold. I don't know if anyone trades gold, but just like real quick. So this was gold earlier in the morning. So longs identified right. Again, same exact thing. Change of trend. Zone is identified. Here is the buying area, and up it goes. Again here, a little bit here. The short did not work out. Then a long, and a very nice long. So this was gold. Okay, so price is coming back again. And again, we still want this flashing area over here. That's what it's showing. Hold on. Let me start taking a look at some comments, see if I can answer any questions while we wait. Oh, the ATM I used, there was nothing special. I think it's, yeah, here we go. It's like plus 12 minus 30. Again, just for scalping. This is not about the ATM, I assure you, because I would never be, trading seriously. Not number one at almost 3 o'clock, but also on a 200 tick chart. So I would not focus so much on an ATM. As much as just understanding what this program does. And once you understand what it does, you can apply it to any time frame that you like, which I hope is better than 200 tick. All right, so still waiting. You see, the price did not come back yet. So you see how it's just going to wait for price to come back. Now S&P is arriving at the 96 area. 96 area, just besides this here, besides just from my own work, 96 is actually a very big area of support, which should bring the S&P up to about 03, 59.03. So that's what the S&P should be doing now. So it already jumped to 99. So yeah, S&P is going higher. Here is another attempt at this, and I was late. Yeah, I was looking at the S&P, guys. Sorry. So we really wanted to kind of get into the zone. And so here is the official signal. I don't like it. I don't like it. But to be consistent, I'll take it. I don't like it. Let me put the stop like above these pivots. But so that's just my opinion. I don't like it because the S&P hit 96, but it filled the target anyway. I did not like it for just nothing to do with the software. I did not personally like it simply because S&P hit 96, and so I expect the S&P to go higher, and so it should take the Nasdaq with it. But regardless of my opinions, no one cares about my opinions, right? The the signal was identified and another target was hit. So, regardless of what I think. So that's another official signal. Now, you see why I did not like the short, though, right? So even though this trade worked out, if I was seriously trading, I would not be taking the short, not because, of the software or anything, but because of bigger picture ideas. Here is the S&P coming up to 01, right? I said it should go up to 03 from 96. That's what the S&P is doing, right? So, and that's why I just did not like the short, but still worked well. So let's see if we can have a change of trend now, because I think be interesting. I think there should be a change of trend. As long as the S&P holds 96, we should see higher in the Nasdaq. So if we get a change of trend, then we'll be looking for a support zone to go long. But so far, it's still bearish. All right, let me go over some comments again while we wait here. No, this is not automated at all. Now you could, okay, this is not automated at all. But if you go to indicators, you could combine this with a third-party software that would identify these signals and trade them in full automation if that's what you wish to do. So you see, where is it? Why don't I see it now? Okay, you see where it says here custom? If you switch it to built-in, if you switch it to this, you can combine it with software called Markers Plus, and then you can automate these signals. So then, anytime the pullback signals occurs, it would automatically take the trade. But again, by itself, as it is now, this software does not come with automation. So I just want to make this clear. Okay, let's keep looking. Okay, good question. Excellent question, Gal. I did not change anything. I took this as it is. Now, the smart thing to do is to actually customize it, because you could improve the performance of this software. I did not change it from a 1 minute to a 200 tick, which is really not the way. You really want to watch how it behaves with whatever instrument you like, whatever time frame you like, and then there was plenty to adjust. Um, there was plenty to adjust, but I did not touch anything. This is default settings, so nothing you saw today was any different than out of the box, just the way it came. You can change how sensitive the trend is. You can change the pullbacks, how you want the volume to look to identify a pullback situation. You can change the zones. I mean, there was quite a few things you could change. I did not want to get into that because I did not want to then to respond to questions about particular time frame and particular market. The fact is, out of the box, the way it is, it's fine. It's just that I believe you can make it better. I believe you can make it better if you do adjust some parameters. Does it work with King Renko? It does work with King Renko. However, because it is based on volume and order flow, right? So it's order flow, it's volume. Because of that, it's best to work with either a tick chart or a time chart, a time bar. Simply because the Renkos do not really combine well. I don't know if I'm not even sure if it's completely true, to be honest. It's just that it just makes sense to me that if something is based on order flow, I'm not. I need to see it in some kind of a bar that is not like one dimensional, like a Renko bar. So um, I think it's better with a time bar or a tick bar. So you see how it's doing nothing. And by the way, I missed this. I missed this talking, but there was another short over here. Again, just enough to grab a scalp. That's it. It would just be enough probably to grab 3 points on a Nasdaq leg. That's it. I'm still expecting a move higher here, but it's not doing much. Just kind of looking at the S&P. The S&P is at 01, and I think S&P should go to at least 03. And if 03 doesn't stop them, they could go to 08 and higher. But so I'm kind of waiting, to be honest, for the Nasdaq to switch to the long side, to the bullish trend. But the good thing here is that it kind of keeps me in check, right? Like, regardless of what I expect, the reality is the order flow is still negative. I mean, at least what this chart is showing us on a 200 tick chart is that the order flow is negative. It is bearish. So don't look for longs yet. I mean, I anticipate price to go higher, but so far this chart is stopping me. I still think I'm going to be right. We'll see. Okay, let's look at some more comments here. All right. The S&P on a 200 tick? No. But again, this is a very personal question, I guess. To me, a 200 tick, even for the NASDAQ, which is far smaller than the S&P as far as volume, right? But even on a NASDAQ, 200 tick is way too fast. I can't imagine the S&P on a 200 tick chart. But hey, try it, whatever. It all depends what you're looking for. In my own trading, when I'm not doing webinars and videos, in my own trading, I always like to trade the bigger picture, as opposed to second moves, right? So so I would not be happy with a 200 tick S&P chart, but again, this is up to you. Here is S&P arriving at 03. As I said, should be arriving at 03. Nasdaq is waking up, so let's see if we're going to have a change of trend. Because if the S&P holds 03, if it can maintain it, we're going to see 08, possible 12, possible 16 even. So let's let things play out here. And see if we get a change of trend. There is the move. That's what I was waiting for. Here we go. All right. All right. Okay, let me look at some more comments. So here is an attempt now at the more extreme zone, right? This is the extreme part of the resistance area, and there is an official short signal here, right? Yes, there is. There is an official short signal. This is the volume study over here upon which the short signal is based on. I have no way of knowing if it would have worked out. Just for myself, I'm kind of looking for the long side. Um, so let's look at some more comments here. 30-second chart. Okay, let's do it. But maybe not this one because I'm kind of let's look the other one on the 30-second chart. Hold on, let me. So this is a 1 minute. You want to see a 30-second chart? Let's look at the 30-second chart. I can't imagine it to be too different than a minute chart, but okay. Yeah, it's not really too much different than a 1 minute chart. Yeah, so S&P is coming to oh 05. As I said, if it holds oh 03, it should come up to oh 08. So now on a 30-second chart, the Nasdaq is in this extreme resistance area. But where you see how just because price breaks through this resistance, it doesn't change the trend yet. And that's because, again, it is based on order flow and volume, not just the moving average. So this is the 30-second. Let's see if okay, so now we have a bullish, sorry. We have a bullish on a 200 tick. And so now we need a pullback. So you see this kind of now it's a blinking blue line. And that's where the software wants the Nasdaq to come back to. So still looking at the S&P at 05, the S&P could pull back to 03. And if that happens, we should get a pullback to this line here. Line is coming up. Here is S&P pulling slightly back. Okay. So let's now wait, see if we can create a zone, if price can hit this blinking blue line. What made me think it would pull up to the extreme resistance? Because I was looking at the S&P at the time. The S&P was at 97, 97, 96, which is a very important area for the S&P, and I expected from there the S&P to go up to 03. And of course, if S&P is going to go up 7 points, the Nasdaq is going to come up, right? On most days. But today they're definitely together in step. So that's why I expected the Nasdaq to come up, and I was more interested in a long side. Nevertheless, as we've seen, this short did work out. This one probably would have worked out. This one would not have worked out. Yeah, so now just waiting to see if there is a pullback. S&P should pull back to 03 before going higher. And if it happens, the Nasdaq will pull back probably to this line here. But S&P is now on a roll. It reached 96, and that was it. Yeah, perfect. All right. So let's see. Let me just have a quick sip of water. Okay. Let's see. Getting closer. 60 range. 60 range. I really don't want to miss this, so just like give me a minute. Let's see. Let's see if the Nasdaq can come back here to possibly give us a long opportunity, and then we're going to take a look at the 60 range chart. Yeah, I never tried it on a range charts at all, and again, it's because just my belief, and that's just an opinion. Um, when it comes to order flow and like volume analysis, you really want to stick with either tick charts, volume charts. That is also good, or time charts. When you have fixed bars like a Renko or like a range, they're not giving us the pullback. It's a shame. Now, by the way, here is the momentum up over here. So I think I said it. I said it earlier, right? Sometimes there is no official pullback trade, but you can look at this. Now, this would paint when this bar closed. So like over here. And that can give you a quick scalp as well. When you just look at the momentum, this is a momentum arrow based on the fact that there was a lot of buying coming in and the trend is up, right? So there was buying coming in an uptrend. And so you should be very interested in these momentum long signals. Again, 200 tick chart, right? So just enough for a scalp. Okay, so let me just 1 second here. Let me try and do something. Okay, data series. I'm just doing it on another chart. Range 60. Okay, so let me show it to you on a 60 range chart. So the zone is being formed, but price is far away. So it gives us a quick. Okay, so this is the 60 range. I mean, not bad, right? It was the pullback. So you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Range is not bad here. Seems to be doing okay on a range. The first long would have been fine. The first short is definitely amazing. There was a change of trend here, which would not happen on a tick chart or a time chart, like a 1 minute. So you would not have this change of trend over here. But other than that, you know what? It's not bad. It's not. It's not bad. It is. It is a bit more sensitive to trend changes, and I guess you could adjust that. You could adjust that in the perimeter. You would definitely need to adjust the perimeters. I imagine. I imagine. So this was the 60 tick. So you see how price is running away, and take a look what the S&P is doing. If you have the S&P reached 08. From here I cannot be sure, but 12 and 16 are the next targets for the S&P from the 96 that we had. So now, 14 points later, here we are. Anyway, let's take a look what else comments we have. Setup real time in S&P would be tough. It's such a slow market. Let me think about this a second. I mean, S&P is tough. All done. So so again, I picked this 200 tick chart because to come up with a lot of signals, and I wanted to demonstrate live the setups. In reality, what is a better, maybe 1,000 tick is a bit more stable than a 200. But even that would change. it all depends on what the market is doing, right? I mean, ultimately, that's what it depends on. S&P is pushing for 12. So just kind of, yeah. So I mean, the way ninZa.co has it on a 1 minute chart when they did the back testing on a 1 minute, I think a 1 minute is good. I traded it today on a 1 minute, both on the Russell. I think the Nasdaq as well, but definitely the Russell and the Russell. I think I showed it right. The Russell on a 1 minute was pretty good. Where is my Russell? So I would definitely say a 1 minute is good. Here's a Russell. So let's kind of again quickly show it. So right, this is the 1 minute on the Russell as the day started. I mean, picture perfect shorts, and the reason they're so good is because it waits for the selling. In the case of a downtrend, it waits for these for real selling to come in, and then it just identifies um, these setups. And again, once volume drops, that's when you begin to see that it's not quite as accurate. And that's why, especially with this kind of software, I would say you need to grab this, right? You need to grab this, either one of these. I always prefer the first one, but either one of these, maybe even the third one, and just be done for the day. I mean, because then, then it's just what is it doing now? Um, yeah, like this was good. The first one was good. Second one, still good. Third one would have been a loss, right? So yeah, so I would say with this software, try to trade it within the first hour of the US session. I think try to use it on like a 1 minute bar, 1 minute chart. Look at this. They can't give they can't give us our zone. They just won't come down to it. They just won't come down. Just keeping an eye on S&P. It was 12 on S&P, and then probably 16 to finish things off. So S&P with a nice run from 96. Okay. Let me just go up, see if I missed any comments. If I missed your comment, I'm looking through now. If I missed it, just retype it because they scroll up. And so if I missed your comment, I'm not being rude, I just didn't see it. Okay, so I did the 30-second chart. Just keep kind of scrolling up. Yeah, the King Renko we discussed. Let's see. The slideshow, just to take a look. I didn't even talk about the deal yet. So yeah, so this is the deal. 50 licenses at 796. You can use this. You can use the code. I think there was another one. Is it the same one? This is the same one. Okay, so I just want to see. Oh, there was something else. No, that's it. Yeah, any questions, by the way, always contact ninZa.co support. I'm just a guy who trades. I'm not the developer or anything. So any specific questions or something is not working or whatnot, or the code is not working, just get in touch with ninZa.co support. Let me see if there was anything else. Okay, good. So you have that other software. Good. It is awesome. I use it all the time. Yep. Good. Yeah. This is compatible with the indicator you're talking about, which makes life very simple. Because especially on a smaller time frames, right? This is things just happen too fast. Okay, let me just see. Yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything here on the real charts, right? The usual, the support, I mean, the resistance areas with the pullback signals. And again, you see how they use the 1 minute chart. I think a 1 minute chart is very solid for this program. This is the YM. Did I show you? I think I have a YM here somewhere. Hold on. Yeah, this is the YM from this morning. So yeah, this is the YM from this morning. So again, it identified this pretty good. Um, and then after that, just very much so sideways. It's also, by the way, preparing for a long here. But again, just like any other charts, really, it's the beginning of the day that are going to give you the best opportunities. Don't keep on trading. Don't fall into the trap of you got to keep on trading. You just grab your money, be done. Let's see if there's anything else. So you want to see it with King Renko. Okay, all right, let's make the customer happy, right? All right, let's so hold on a second here. I'm gonna do one with the King Renko. What would be a good size for a King Renko? The Nasdaq maybe something like 16.5 maybe. Again, I don't know. I did not run this with the Renko at all, but let's see. Hold on. So these trades were from the 200 tick chart, but this is King Renko. So not you know what? Not too bad. Not too bad. Enough for scalping. Not bad at all, actually. I mean, yeah, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Not bad. Not much here. How about the momentums here? The momentum is also pretty good. These are the momentum bars, the signals. Momentum signals are pretty good with the King Renko. These are the momentum long. You see these? These are all momentum long. There is the pullback. You know what? I stand corrected. I think it's okay on a King Renko. I think it's okay on a King Renko. I guess I just imagined with order flow and stuff, Renko bars might not be ideal, but I stand corrected. Nothing, of course, is perfect, but overall, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, you know what? Not bad. I think it could work with the Renko. Okay. Okay. So yeah, once again, before we end, oops, not this one. Before we end today, this is the deal. 796, 50 licenses. S&P is at '08. There might be in the S&P, there might be a push toward the end of the day. They stopped at 12. The only higher number I have is 16. They stopped at 12, but there might be a push higher toward the end of the day. In any case, I'm just looking once again at all, make sure I don't want to miss comments here. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? Oh, combining it with other ninZa.co. I bet you could, but it would take some study time, right? Which I don't have here. Um, what you could do with something like this is to have this indicator on a higher time frame, like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And then if you want to combine it with something else, that something else should be on a smaller time frame for scalping. So you would use the higher time frame with SpaceGPS Satellite as a directional filter. So yeah, I guess it could work, combining it with another ninZa.co indicator. Yeah, that's just an opinion. I did not try it, but it only makes sense to me. Okay. Well, all right, everyone. This was fun. Great. So, thank you all. Any questions? You can email me. Where am I? I'm somewhere here. You can email me. Here I am. Yeah, you can email me. You can visit me in my Discord group. Um, Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next webinar. And this was a lot of fun. Thank you all for coming, and I will see you next time.